The following game is being played with History Maker Baseball Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. If you would like to order a copy of History Maker Baseball Express, or if you would like to check out the other products offered from Play Games, please click on the link provided in the description box below. Happy opening day as we are coming to you from Yankee Stadium 1 here in the Bronx for Series 3 of the 2024 edition of the Yankees Gauntlet Challenge. The 1927 Yankees currently lead the challenge with a 2-0 series win lead, as you would say. They are 6-3 with a 52 runs scored in this series with 2 points, with Team MLB scoring 34 runs and no points up to this point as we head into Series 3 for the start of the stateside portion of the 2024 MLB season. With that being said, we are ready for Game 1 as Wadey Hoyt is ready and waiting to go, as he will be opposing Rod Guidry for the 1985 Yanks. So with that being said, Ricky Henderson is ready to lead things off. And let's get to it from the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. 2-4-5. And it looks like, is Wadey Hoyt a struggler pitcher? He is not. Is Ricky Henderson a sad sack batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being a men on base result, -1 from black die if flash or control. Wadey Hoyt has control, so that 2 on the black die will be reduced to a 1. And referring to my optional men on base narrative chart, a black die 1 and a red and a blue die 4 is going to be a drop third strike result. So, in this case, Ricky Henderson will be 0 for 1 with a strikeout. However, we will be looking at the 1927 Yankees catcher's fielding rating, and in this case, it is Johnny Grabowski. He has a fielding rating of neutral. So with that being said, we will be referring to the decider die whenever it's neutral. He either is going to have catcher was able to find loose ball. Either way, the catcher was able to corral and find the loose ball. Either his throw either is late, batter is safe at first on a strikeout and a pass ball, or on a blank, throws sails over the first baseman head. The second baseman manages to corral the ball. Batter is safe at first, throwing error on the catcher for a blank. So in this case here, the decider die was not used. Let me double check. 245. Struggle no, Sansack no. So it was not used. So in that case here, batter is safe at first via a strikeout and a throwing error on the catcher. So he would stay put at first base because the second baseman Tony Lazzeri was able to corral that ball and keep the runner at first base. Here's Ken Griffey off of the men on base chart. And I read the black and blue dice for this chart, for these results. We have a 56. Patient draws the walk. Oh, Ken Griffey does not have patient, and as a matter of fact, he doesn't have any batting qualities at all. So it'll be a contact result of 2. Is Ken Griffey a sad sack? And again, he doesn't have anything. So that is going to be an RBI for Mr. Griffey. And the 1985 Yanks lead their counterparts 1-0 as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. Here is Earl Combs. 256. Is Guidry a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Earl Combs a sad sack batter? Unfortunately, he is not. So that's going to end up being a men on base result, -1 for black die if flash. Ron Guidry does have semi-flash printed on his card. The decider die was not used, so he does have flash. So that is going to be reducing this black die result of 2 down to a 1 with a mob 1 result, or a men on base 1 result of a walk according to my optional men on base narrative chart for Earl Combs. Here we go with Mark Koenig to play on the men on base chart. And of course, I roll all 3 dice together. And I read the black and blue dice together, which is a 12. Slugger hits home run. Mark Koenig is not a slugger, so that's going to end up being a single, and nothing will come of that single as the 1927 Yankees strand 2 runners on base at the end of 1 as we head to the second inning here at the stadium with the score 1985 Yankees 1 and their counterparts from 1927 with zip, nothing. Here's Don Mattingly. Lead off the second. 146, excuse me. Is Wadey Hoyt an ace or dynamic pitcher? He is a semi-ace. The decider die says he is an ace. Now, with this quality, with the semi-ace quality, I play it as if the pitcher has it for the current batter's turn, he has it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So unlike the optional semi-ace optional rule for this game posted on Play Games' blog post, on one of their blog posts on the website, which I'll leave a link to in the description box below. So in their saying is if the pitcher has ace, it's rolled before the game. If he has ace, he has ace for the entire game. So the way that I'm playing it for this series, for this video series, is if the pitcher has ace, he has it. If he doesn't, he doesn't for that particular at bat. So in this case, he does. It's going to be a no runs result of 6 blank. And that's going to end the top half of the second here at Yankee Stadium. With the score remains 85 Yanks won. Their counterparts were 1927 nothing. We go now to the bottom of the second here, and the Bambino Babe Ruth will lead things off. Ooh, triple ones. Okay, so this is going to be an experience microchart visit, and we are going to roll 1d6, and I'm going to use the blue die, and it reads a 3. So that is a. Let me just get on the chart here. Is the batter an icon? You bet your behind he is an icon batter. Babe Ruth is an icon batter, so that is going to be a mob result of 1, and that is going to be a runner on first. And beforehand, it was a triple ones result. So I'm going to keep it that way. So a 1-1 would be meaning that Babe Ruth got on base via catcher's interference off of my optional men on base narrative chart. Here is Lou Gehrig to roll off the men on base chart using the blue and black dice of 16. Good eye rolls again. Lou Gehrig's not a good eye, so that's going to be a strikeout. And we played 2 innings here at Yankee Stadium. The score remains 1-0 in favor of the 1985 Yankees. Here we go now to the top half of the third, and Dave Winfield will lead things off. 3-4-6 is the pitcher not fresh? Now again, the way I work freshness for this video series, if you were just joining us for the first time, I play freshness for this series and for the rest of this project. 3 full fresh, 3 semi-fresh. So the first 3 innings are fresh, pitchers are fresh. The middle innings 4, 5, and 6 are semi-fresh, and there is a rule in the game: if the starting pitcher is pitching a shutout, he will maintain or has not given up a run in like a said number of innings. He will then maintain semi-freshness until he gives up a run. So in this case here, Wadey Hoyt is top of the third. Wadey Hoyt is still fresh. Is Dave Winfield a hero batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being a no runs result. Otherwise, unless if it's a solo home run check, which in this case the black die is not 6. So unfortunately for Dave Winfield, it's going to be ending up being a no runs result of 6. 6 dot, and that's going to be it for the top of the third for the Yankees as they go down, as they are retired in this inning. And Bob Musial will come up to the plate now. here for the 1927 Yankees, half of the third. And let's see what comes up. 246, not the cheer 246, but the die roll 246. Is Guidry a star pitcher? He is a semi-star. The decider die says he is. So it'll be a no runs result of 2. And that's going to end the third inning for the 1927 Yankees. And your score remains 1-0 in favor of the 1985 Yanks. Let's head now to the top half of the fourth, and Ron Hasse, 356. So that way you guys can see it. It is a 356. It's going to read: Is Wadey Hoyt a workman pitcher? He is not. Is Hasse a champion batter? No, he is not. So it's going to end up being a no runs result with a chance for a solo home run. However, the black die is not a 6, since Ron Hasse is a slugger, so he does not hit a home run here. So it's going to end up being a result of 6 blank. Workman no, champion no. Yes, so it's going to end up being a 6 blank, no runs narrative result, and that's going to end the top half of the fourth for the 85 Yanks. And they maintain a slim lead with a score of 1-0 as we head to the bottom half of the fourth. Sorry about the pause. So I did play that right. So the score remains 1-0, and we head to Tony Lazzeri's at bat for the bottom half of the fourth with a 2-3-6. It reads: Is Guidry a struggler or gilded pitcher? He is not. Is Tony Lazzeri a sad sack batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being an RBI question mark result. And it looks like there will be no RBI for Mr. Lazzeri, as it will be a no runs narrative result of 3. And that's going to end the fourth inning here at the stadium with the score in a tight, I would technically say a tight pitching duel between Wadey Hoyt and Ron Guidry here in game 1, with the 85 Yankees leading 1-0. So we now head to the top half of the fifth. 3-4-4. That is going to be: Is Wadey Hoyt a workman pitcher? No, he is not. Is Randolph a sad sack batter? He is not. That's going to be a men on base result, -1 for black die of control. Wadey Hoyt does have control, so that this black 4 will be reduced to a 3, and it's player's choice of either putting the runners on first and second or a runner on third. Since it is we're coming up to the middle portion of the game here, we are going to put the runners on first and second, and with a 3-3 on the first and second result, first and second base result here on my optional men on base narrative chart, it reads: Dot is either back-to-back singles or blank for back-to-back walks. Let me double check if the decider die was not used here. Workman no, sad sack no. So it was not used. So Willie Randolph will get on base with back-to-back singles in 2 plate appearances. Here is Mike Pegliarulo. If I butcher names, I'm sorry. I do apologize. Off of the mob chart. 44. And it reads, is Wadey Hoyt a wild pitcher? He is not. So that's going to end up being a flyout for Mr. Pagliarulo. And the score remains the same after 4.5 innings complete. The score remains 1-0 in favor of the 85 Yanks. And here comes Julie Wera to lead off the bottom half of the fifth. 2-3-3. So that way you guys can see it. 2-3-3. Is Guidry an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Wera a champion batter? No, he is not. So that's going to end up being a no runs narrative of 2 dot. Ace, no. Champ, no. Yes. 2 dot for the no runs narrative. And the score after 5 innings complete here at the stadium, it is 1-0 in favor of the 1985 New York Yankees. Top half of the 6th, and Bob Meacham will step up to the plate against 1-2-6. Is Hoyt a struggler or gilded pitcher? He is not. Is Meacham a hero batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being a no runs result since Meacham does not have either the home run king or slugger qualities. So it's going to end up being a no runs inning result of 1 dot. Let me double check. Struggling no here. Yes, that's right. 1 dot on the no runs narrative. So far, pretty minimal action here as we head to the bottom half of the 6th here at the stadium, with these 2 teams meeting each other in Series 3 here on the stateside opening day for the 2024 Major League Baseball season. Happy opening day again to all. Hope that your favorite team wins their games today. I'm hoping that the Tigers can hopefully pull out a victory here on opening day, as they are playing later on this afternoon. But anyway, here's Johnny Grabowski to lead off the 1927 Yanks. This is bottom half of the 6th. 1-2-6. So that way you guys can see it. Oops, it's a 2. Finger bumped into it. 1-2-6. And it reads, is Guidry a struggler or gilded pitcher? He is not. Is Grabowski a hero batter? He's a semi-hero. The decider die says he is a hero. So that's going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. With a stoic 6 will become a 5. We will put the runners on second and third. And we are going to have to roll the decider die once again off of my men on base narrative chart, optional men on base narrative chart. And second and third is dot is 2 hits. Blank is going to be going to the multiple runners on base chart. And we're going to see the multiple runners on base chart with the decider die showing blank. And we are going to be reading the red die off a second and third, which will be back-to-back walks in the first two appearances, and Johnny Grabowski will post a double and an RBI, making the score 1-1 as the 1927 Yankees do get on the board via that double. And we are going to go to the men on base chart that comes with the game for Earl Combs. Reading the blue and black dice together of 24. Goldfielder makes the out. Ricky Henderson is semi-gold. The decider die says he is gold. So Ricky Henderson makes the out, and it will be a flyout to end the sixth inning. And since Ricky Henderson was used, he will be flipped as well, along with Earl Combs. This game is really becoming interesting here. I'm not going to lie. Game one of this series between two evenly matched teams here, with the score tied at 1 apiece, as we head to the seventh inning here at the stadium. And we have Wadey Hoyt going back out there, maybe for possibly one more inning. Let's see if the Yankees manager has told his bench coach that the Yankee pen is active. They do. And they do. So is he going to keep Wadey Hoyt in? He does. He does. So the pen is active. So just in case, if Wadey Hoyt does get into trouble, we will make sure that the bullpen is active. So we can see down the down the line into left center field, out beyond Monument Park, we can see that the bullpens are active. And we have Ken Griffey up at the plate. It's, I believe it's senior. Ken Griffey Sr. up at the plate. 2-2-6 is Hoyt an ace pitcher. He is a semi-ace. The decider die says he does not have ace. So again, with semi-ace, I play it as if he has it, he has it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So we move on to the batter check of 2-2-6. Is Ken Griffey a utility batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being an RBI question mark. We're going to have to re-roll the decider die. Once again, let me move these dice out of the way. He gets the RBI. And he doesn't. So that's going to end up being a no-runs narrative result of 2. As we head to the stretch here at Yankee Stadium, number 1, that old Yankee Stadium number 1, with the score all knotted up. Ones to go all around. And here's Mark Koenig to lead off the bottom of the seventh here. 1-1-6. Is Guidry a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Mark Koenig a utility batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being a RBI question mark result. The decider die says he does get the RBI, and the 1927 Yankees take the lead here in the bottom of the seventh with a 2-1 lead. And we are going to now determine what the RBI, how Mark Koenig got the RBI, his RBI result. So The way that this works is, since it was dot, we are giving Mark Koenig the RBI. We will then re-roll the decider die. Dot is a hit or sacrifice. Blank is an error. And it's a hit or sacrifice. So we will be referring to the 6, which makes perfect sense because a run was scored. And it seems that Mark Koenig blasts one out to the right field bleachers, hit high, far, and gone for a solo home run. And that will end the bottom of the 7th here at the stadium with the score. 1927 Yankees lead their counterparts from 1985 by a score of 2-1. And here we go with first baseman Don Mattingly, hoping that he can try to mount a rally here against Wadey Hoyt as we head to the top of the 8th with a roll of 156. So that way you guys can see it. 156. Is Wadey Hoyt an ace pitcher? He is a semi-ace. Decider die says he is not. Is Don Mattingly a sad sack batter? No, sir, he is not. So that is going to be a men on base result. -1 for black die of flash, and Wadey Hoyt does not have flash. Excuse me. So that is going to end up being runners on second and third. And the right 156 ace. Yeah, so decider die needs to be rolled off of my optional men on base narrative chart for second and third. Dot is 2 hits, blank is multiple runners on base. And Don Mattingly will be collecting 2 hits. So for this, I'm going to roll the red die twice, and Don Mattingly will be getting 2 hits over 2 plate appearances. A 4 is going to be a double, and a 2 is going to be a single. For Mr. Mattingly, Johnny Baseball, as he is known in Major League Baseball today. And we have Dave Winfield stepping up to the plate off the men on base chart. And again, I read the black and blue dice as follows with a 66. Ooh. Is Dave Winfield a scrapper hitter? He is not. So that is going to be a double and a costing 2 runs to put the 85 Yankees into the lead by a score of 3-2 over their counterparts from 1927. So he gets 2 RBIs out of that, Winfield gets 2 RBIs out of that, putting the score 85 Yanks 3, 1927 Yanks 2. And Babe Ruth now steps up to the plate. Or excuse me, Ron Hassey steps up to the plate on the men on base chart. 36, active batter gets runners advance 2 bases single and a stolen base. And of course, I'm referring to the running quality. Ron Hassey is not a active runner, so that is going to be a contact result of 2. Is Hassey a sad sack batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being another run scored for the Yanks, for the 85 Yankees, as they lead this ball game by a score of 4-2. And that may smell the end of the day for Wadey Hoyt, as the as the manager comes over to talk with him and say, "Hey, you're good for, you're good. You gave us a well-earned chance to get back into the lead. You may have given this lead back up, but we are going to trust. We're going to trust in the pen to bail you out of this," and that's what they are exactly going to do. So the bullpen is active for the 1927 Yankees, and we are going to see who comes in to replace Hoyt when we get to the top half of the ninth. And again, your score as we head to the bottom of the eighth is 1985 Yanks 4, and their counterparts from 1927 2. Babe Ruth will lead it off here in the top half, or excuse me, in the bottom half of the eighth. The 136. You can see. Oops. There we are. 136 is Ron Guidry, an ace pitcher. No, he is not. Is Babe Ruth a hero batter? The Decider Die says he is not. And unfortunately for Mr. Ruth, it's a good thing. Because he does have slugger. The black die is 6. It's not semi-slugger, so we don't need to use the Decider Die. So the Bambino calls his shot, hits one down to left center, hit high, far, and gone to bring the score within 1 run as the 1985 Yanks lead their counterparts from 1927 of a score of 4-3. And it looks like we are seeing action in both ends of the pen for both the 85 Yanks and the 1927 Yanks. And we are going to be taking a timeout as we see who is coming in for the Yanks, for the 1927 Yanks, for the top half of the ninth, as Wadey Hoyt goes 8 innings, as we will take a timeout. Joe Girard will now come into the game here, in relief of Wadey Hoyt, to begin the ninth inning here at Yankee Stadium 1 with the score of 1985 Yankees 4 and the 1927 5 Yanks 3. And Willie, his first batter of the inning, will be none other than Willie Randolph. 114 is is Girard a struggler? Yes, is Girard a struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Randolph a champion batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being a no runs inning result of 4 blank to end the top half of the ninth. And it looks like the 85 Yankees are going to have Ron Guidry have a chance at a complete game here, even though it's within 1 run. But let's see if that pen for the 85 Yanks is active at this point. They are. Is Guidry going to be taken out? No. So we will give him a chance to complete this game here as we head to the bottom half of the ninth with the score in favor of the 1985 Yanks 4-3. And Lou Gehrig will get it started here with a 166. Is Guidry an ace pitcher? No, he is not. Is Lou Gehrig a sat sack batter? He is not. Oh, it's going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment, and there's no need to because his running rating is neutral. So that means the bases are loaded full of 1927 Yankees, and we are going to be referring to the decider die. Let me double check. 166 of ace, no, Sansec, no. Yes. So Lou Gehrig is going to be collecting 3 hits from over 3 plate appearances, and let's find out what those hits were by rolling the red die 3 times. He gets a double with a 4, a 5, which is a single. Oops. A 5 is a single, and another 5. So 2 singles and a double for Luke Gehrig. And that is going to bring up Bob Musial with the game-winning run just 90 feet away, standing on third base. And the 85 Yankees catcher is on his way out to the mound to talk along with the pitching coach of the entire infield as the fans here at the stadium rise to their feet as they get set to watch their team hopefully come from behind to either tie the game or win the game with a bases loaded situation for Bob Musial. And let's see what happens with Bob Musial stepping up to the plate. They're sticking with Ron Guidry, hoping they could deliver the win and not force extras. And I read it, and I read the blue and black dice on the mob chart of 46. Same or reliever gets a strikeout. Oh, yikes. It's not a lefty-lefty matchup, so that's going to be a contact result of a red die 1. And folks, we are tied. Bob Musial has tied the game up at 4-4 all, and we head to extra innings here at Old Yankee Stadium. Oh my goodness. If we thought that this game had gotten a little bit more interesting, it has gotten to that point as the 1927 Yankees tie the game to force extra innings by a score of 4-4. Oh, baby. We head to the top of the 10th inning here in this ball game as we are going to play normal runner on second base as pre-ghost runner on second base rules, as Pagliarulo will step up to the plate to face off against Joe Girard. So neither starter is going to get the win. Here as Ron Guidry is going to lead the game after this. After the 85 Yanks have taken their official at bats, but if the score remains the same, he is on hook for a no decision. 3-5-6 is going to be. Is Girard a workman pitcher? He is not. Is Peglerulo, a champion batter. He is not. So that's going to end up being a solo. That's going to be a no runs result with a chance of a solo home run. The decider die was not used, so unfortunately for Mike Peglerulo, he does not have the home run king quality, and that's going to end up being a no runs result of 5 dot to end the top half of the 10th here at Yankee Stadium. And Tony Lazzeri walked things off, and while the fans are chanting and cheering as loud as they can, the 85 Yanks are bringing in a new pitcher, and we will take a timeout as he takes up his warm-up tosses. So timeout. Ryan Fisher will be the new pitcher for the 85 Yanks, and he will be facing Tony Lazzeri to lead it off here in the bottom half of the 10th. 1, 2, 3. That is going to be, is Fisher a workman or struggler pitcher? No, he is not. Is Tony Lazzeri a champion batter? He is a semi-champion. Decider die says he is. So that's going to be a men on base result of a base running adjustment off of the black die, from the black die. And Tony Lazzeri is semi-active, so we are going to re-roll the decider die. Dot is going to be a 2, blank stays a 1. Dot is going to be a 2. The winning run is on second base. And Lazzeri is going to get an official scorer's decision result on the runners on second roll, with Dot as a double or blank as a single and an error. And it will be a single and an error for Tony Lazzeri. And we get set now to see if Julie Wera can walk it off here with the winning run on second, rolling off the men on base chart. Reading the black and blue die as such. 35, control pitcher gets the ground out. Brian Fisher has control, and that will do it here in the 10th inning, as the score remains a 4-4 tie as we head to the 11th inning. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What a game, folks. What a game. Which bullpen is going to blink first? Because both these pitchers are going to be the pitcher of record since the 1927 Yankees came back. That means Wadey Hoyt will not be getting the decision for the 1927 Yanks, and Joe Girard will be the pitcher of record. As for the 85 Yanks, if Fisher gives up the winning run, he will become the losing pitcher. Anyway, we move to the top of the 11th, and Bob Meacham will be the new batter here for the top half of the 11th, but let me just double check on that. So hang on tight. Timeout. All right, so after further review, it is Bob Meacham stepping up to the plate, so I was playing that correct. So Bob Meacham will step up to the plate here in the top half of the 11th with a 1-4-5. So that you guys can see. 1-4-5. Is Girard an ace or dynamic pitcher? He is not. Is Meacham a sad sack batter? He is not. So that's going to end up being a minimum base result, -1 for Black Die of Flash. Joe Girard does have Flash, so that is going to be runners at the corners for for first and third. And the decider die was not used. So yes, the decider die was not used, as I corrected myself there. So it'll be a multiple runners on base result for Meacham as he gets a red die 4 on first and third. It's going to be a hit by pitch and a single, or excuse me, and it'll be a runner's advance 2 bases single for Meacham. The winning run is 90 feet away, and he is standing on third base, just 90 feet away from home plate here in the top half of the 11th. Reading the black and blue dice as such is a 12. Slugger hits home run, and Ricky Henderson is not a slugger, and that is going to end up being a single for Ricky as the 1985 Yankees, off of Ricky Henderson's go-ahead RBI single, take a 5-4 lead here in the 11th inning. And the score is now 5-4 in favor of the 85 Yanks as they plan to take a 1-0 series lead here in this series here on the stateside edition of opening day to open up the 2024 Major League Baseball season. And all hope rests now on Johnny Grabowski as we head to the bottom half of the 11th to see if this game will be extended or not. 136. 136. Is Brian Fisher an ace pitcher? He is, and that is going to be your ball game, folks. With an enter-end result of 1 blank, your final score in 11 innings is the 1985 Yankees 5 and their counterparts from 1927 4.